Hi beauties, this is Gia. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and follow me on Instagram at GiaGDixon. You know me, I'm just keeping it real here. Here are 6 feminine coats that you can use for winter. Let's just remember the basic core rules of how to dress feminine and look elegant, because it's really hard. You look like a bunch of penguins when you're walking around. Trick number 1 is to make sure that your silhouette is as fitted and tailored as possible to your petite frame, to your frame at all. I know a lot of people who are taller, it's easier for them to carry clothes because it literally just drapes down on them and their figure shows better because the necklines drop better and their legs are longer, so you see their figure easier. Where when you're trying to dress warm, you don't want to look like a penguin, but you want to be warm. So if you're going to go the tailored structured route, you want to make sure that you're cinched in as much as possible to show off your figure, no matter what figure really. Petite, if you're boxy, if you are curvier, whatever is your shape, the whole point is not to look like you're just one block of solid clothing. If you want these coats, make sure to click the link below because they are all in there. Another trick for wardrobe is to stick to a palette. If you have a color that you really love to wear all the time and you're noticing a pattern, buy all your clothes in that color or close to that color so that everything matches right away. Subscribe now because I have another fashion haul coming out in a few days, aka this weekend. Another way to stay looking feminine is by wearing bright, beautiful colors that are nothing dark. So no dark grays, no black, no dark brown. And I really mean this. I know everybody's trying to be neutral, but use white as your main neutral or your favorite light colors. I know a lot of people are afraid to use color because it doesn't match a lot of my other clothes. I personally have so much color within my wardrobe. My capsule wardrobe is mostly white, so if I added another color to it, it was intentional. And if I just blindly pick anything from my capsule wardrobe and then from my seasonal wardrobe and put them together, it doesn't look like they're clashing too much. And I personally believe in power clashing. It's really important to look inviting, and that's like one of the main keys to looking feminine. If you approach someone and you're asking for directions from a total stranger in a city that you don't know, you will see, if you see a person who's wearing all black, you look a bit more intimidating. Or if there's a person who's wearing brighter colors, who looks clean and like they're groomed, you will probably most likely approach them and ask them because you feel safer. It's just more inviting, it's friendly looking. Look approachable is essentially what looking feminine is. It makes you stand out. I was recently in Copenhagen where everybody it's a sea of black coats, and it's practical too. I understand, because the snow and the slush can be quite dirty sometimes, like all the water and all the pollution in the air, it can attach to your clothes. Also, another step of wearing white is the amount of care, which is what makes it even more feminine, that you're taking care of your clothes. I personally will wear like some kind of off-white or a cool tone of white, not like a yellow white, because yellow white looks kind of dirty. When the pollution on the cool tone white gets a little gray, it looks like it's meant to look like that, and when you wash it, it's not a big deal. But that's just something to keep in mind. And I was wearing white in Copenhagen. People immediately knew I was not an inhabitant, that I was not Danish. Wow, this girl is really standing out. And you kind of impress people, and just be sure to like have a smile on your face, and it's all about your attitude too. It can't just be your clothes. And I know you're trying to rock your clothes, which is why a lot of these clothes are going to be super light that you see in this haul, especially in the winter when it can get dreary really fast. So add some color, don't be afraid, add some brightness. Brightness is the most important part. In the countries that there are high suicide rates, there are usually cold countries where it's black most of the winter. If you notice, if you ever visit those countries, you go into the apartments and you go into the buildings and they're all painted white. It's not only to reflect the light and it saves energy, but also because it lifts your mood when you wear bright colors and when you wear bright tones, and when you have that energy in your house, it really does make a difference. So add that to your wardrobe and apply this method of thinking when it comes to staying feminine and staying approachable and inviting and looking friendly, essentially. This is just a little mental health awareness, and if your clothes are mostly neutral, then go crazy with the colors and the accessories, or brighten up your accessories, because it really does lift your mood. If I have really neutral makeup on and then my neutrals are whites, and I have really like too much brightness and too much white or off-white or cream or beige, whatever, I like to add a scarf, especially in the cold. So I have what you call a foulard, so like a silk scarf or satin scarf. It does create a lot of friction, so people just automatically go to wool, which is really thick and bulky, I think sometimes, which is good for the winter, but it's just so much padding to layer all the time. So I like this light foulard scarf, like the Hermes kind of silk scarf. Some of these scarves here I have are designer, and then some are from Shein that are like $1 to $2. Just remember, try to stick with natural fibers because polyester can really make you sweat, especially in the winter. You don't want to be clammy, and it's a weird mix of being super cold and it's like kind of sweaty, and then when you go back outside, your sweat freezes because you're cold. Like it depends on where you live. This coat I got from H&M. I wore this in Copenhagen. I'll have a what to wear in Copenhagen in winter and cold northern European countries in winter video, and be sure to subscribe for that. And this was so thick. This was wool. This is a proper coat. I got it on sale because they had a quick like 20% off sale, and I got it like for less than $40, and it was originally, I don't remember, like $80 or so. And I also have the H&M membership. If you want a link to that, it's down below. But it was really cold even after having this on because the wind will kill you in the winter months. So be sure to layer wisely. Even 3 layers. I am 5'2" and a half, and I live in Los Angeles. I cannot stand the cold, so make sure that you layer at least 2 sweaters. So have 3 layers on underneath your wool coat, if just as a heads up. This is also the thickest coat in the haul, so just keep aware that all the other coats, I'll go back and retrace everything and tell you each detail about each coat also, aside from all these tips that I'm already giving you. I got this coat 2 or so years ago from Romwe or Shein, I don't remember, it's one of those companies, but it has like tinsel thread sewn into it, and it's also tulle at the bottom. So if you have any jacket that you just want to kind of spruce up, or if you have any jacket that you just kind of want to make extra special, just add some tulle to it. It's already a pink and like beige, blush, white tweed jacket that has all those different color threads in it, and all those within those tones, and it's really pretty if you just add tulle or any kind of fur or feather marabou trim to any jacket. I think it's really it gives that extra touch, that extra flair. Don't be afraid to show your personality in winter. I think that's a thing that people forget. Like they just, they buy a coat off the rack and then forget that, it's practical, it's more utility than anything, where I still like to show my personality. You know me, I'm very statement and everything has to be loud. It's just a little bit of peacocking, and just know that this coat is not very warm. So this definitely is not a proper winter coat. It's not an overcoat unless you're really layered, like 4 layers minimum, or are in a state where it's not as cold. Okay, back to this blazer. This was the second warmest coat. It's actually a blazer, and I guess technically a blazer overcoat. I'm not really familiar with too much winter dressing, surprisingly enough, having lived in Northern Europe for a few years, but this is really warm, and it's thick and it's good to layer, but the pockets don't exist. Like it's just a design, which I thought was weird. I really love the coloring and have another video coming out that has a similar fabric and material to this, so subscribe. It's like a blush beige and white, and it's like a hound's tooth. This coat has gray flecks in it, and it's all white. It's long. It's only got like 1 layer. There's no lining, which is really disappointing. So it's like super thin, and the pockets are really big, but they just look like they're sewn fabric on top. So just a heads up, this looks really cheap in person and feels thin, but it's cute. And if you wear it with a belt too, it really, I think, makes it look extra feminine, but it's more for style than it is for utility and warmth. If that's your thing, that's cool too. Sometimes I totally dress for style because I live in Los Angeles and it doesn't get too cold, so I'm lucky. This was really pretty in the picture, however in person it's really thin and just feels like felt. Like, you know, when you have scrapbooking felt or arts and crafts felt, this was like a thick version of that. So just a heads up. Also, the pockets were just sewn on, like fabric sewn on top. It wasn't like made into a proper pocket with lining. There is no lining in this. It's just felt, and it's really thin, but it's warm because it's synthetic, but it's not a coat that I would wear all the, like I'm kind of embarrassed at how thin it is and how the stitching is kind of sloppy. So just a heads up, this was really cheaply made and looks cheap, and I just want to warn you guys of that. But it's really cute. I like the style, and it's something that I would wear by myself, or if I'm like getting groceries really quick and it's cold, and it just goes good with a lot of my clothes just in general, because I wear these colors a lot. It's my style, but it's not the quality of that I want. I really like the contrasting colors. This is another H&M coat. It's really thin. I got it like a year ago, I think. Yes, I got it a year ago. I have a video of that haul actually. And it's an essential if you live in Los Angeles, but it's not exactly like a rayon or like a waxed jacket, a waxed trench coat. It's not like for the rain. It's not waterproof. It's not hermetic. What it is like this ribbed material that feels like cotton, and it gets dirty really easily. It almost feels like velvet where it catches everything. I'm wearing velvet now. It's like this ribbed cotton material that just catches everything. So just a heads up, if you're going to a dusty area. I was in a parking lot and I like barely touched my car and there was like a huge smudge. So just a heads up, but it's really cute. In the winter, I layer this with a couple cardigans or just like one really long thick cardigan and then have a dress underneath with some knee boots. But this is perfect for like a light jacket essentially. It's not like a full-on coat. It's more like a maxi duster that also keeps your legs warm if it is windy outside. Thanks so much for watching. I have another feminine winter haul coming out. It's gonna be epic, and I have what to wear in Northern Europe video coming out, and I have a lot more beauty essential and travel things and 30 days of beauty that comes out every single week. So subscribe now and be sure to follow me on Instagram at GaGDixon. Also, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next time.